apple tart tatin. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again. Me and my good friend, Bronson Wagsback. Today we're gonna show you guys, and I'm gonna show him, a technique of making apple tart tatin, which Claire Smith taught me. Restaurant Gordon Ramsay had this dish on the menu for ages in London. It is fabulous. I had it for lunch there one time. At the end, we ordered the tart tatin. You have to order like an hour in advance, and it is just spectacular. When I went back to London, before I went to the south of France to be a private chef, people that Claire worked for, Russian family, she said she used to make this for them and they loved it. So I went back to Core for a couple weeks so that her and Johnny can show me how they made it at RHR. What they normally do is they do it in a small copper pot with high lids. And basically what they do is they build them and they keep them in the walk-in. And then when one comes in order, they get it on the stove, they caramelize the apples and they finish it in the oven, they pop it out. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I've never done it in this size pan. And I haven't done this in about 3 years. We're gonna get started. First thing we need to do is peel the apples. Here we have Pink Lady apples. My favorite way to peel an apple, start at the top, give a nice little turny turn, start at the bottom, give a nice little turny turn, okay, and go straight down. How do you feel about that? Not something you see every day, huh?
No. Now, is that your personal peeler?
Yes, it was given to me in Tokyo.
Okay.
By my godfather, Charlie Trotter.
Charlie Trotter, your godfather, yeah.
Yeah.
One of many.
He actually trained me on how to use a peeler. You continue to peel the apples and I'll start cutting them. What you want to do with your apple, Bron, you want to cut your apple in 6, okay? 6 wedges.
Now, Josh, what if I'm more of a Granny Smith kind of guy?
Then you can just make a different recipe. Okay. Just go home.
Right.
Pink Lady apples don't oxidize as much as Granny Smith. These aren't going to turn super brown really quickly. They're going to actually hold the color. Cut the core side off your apple. I should have practiced on one. Bronson and I were planning on doing this video this week and couldn't think of a good dish to do. I thought of this last night and I just told him, bring the pan. Hopefully it's going to work out. Apple tart tatin a la RGR, a la Gordon Ramsay.
Gonna get fucking sued.
I hope so. Could use the publicity. This is gonna bury me financially. Look at all of our apples. Got all of our apples in a row. What do they say?
It stuck.
Yeah. Have you ever made this before? Have you made tart tatin before?
A couple of times. Just eggplant at work, and then I made a sweet one a few times at home.
Big thing that you want to think about when you're doing this is packing the apples in there. On their side and really tightly wedged in there. We need that scrap bowl. Oh, Then what we want to do, Bron, is turn the apples. Sharp edges off. Back. Back. Sharp. And you want the whole thing to be round. Think you could do it?
Yeah.
But what you want is like that. Like, see how nice that looks?
Yeah.
That like nice curled end. Like that's what's going to caramelize. And they're all going to be beautiful round
They're laying
ends.
down on the flat side or on this?
We're going to lay them in like this against each other. So when they cook, they're going to start to come down a little bit.
Right.
And then that's what you're going to see,
all
this
surface
nice,
area
beautiful round edge of apple. Now, Bron, why don't you tell the good folks at home why you turn vegetables?
Fuck if I know. You turn vegetables to have a consistent size. So when you're trying to cook something, everything that you're cooking is going to cook at the same rate.
Yep, that's true.
It's also aesthetically pleasing. Soft edges instead of like harsh right angles.
I think that's the main thing, aesthetics, even cooking, but also turning things like apples in this application. Yes, you're going to have a nice, beautiful apple like that in the pan, nice and round, but also edges burn. We're cooking this at a really hot temperature. We're caramelizing it in sugar and butter, and really thin, sharp edges tend to burn more than round, soft edges do. The reason why you turn foie gras, it's the reason why you turn, stuff like that. So I think like that's what it is, Bron, like an oval. Like that's what you're looking for. On the back side of the apple, like a nice oval. The top and the bottom of the apple, you kind of like just do that. And then everything else you smooth out. Turning the top, turning the bottom, and then taking all those sharp sides and making the sharp sides round. Like this nice little apple dumpling, right? I'm making beef rossini after this. I'm making gnocchi Parisienne. What else am I making? Beef rossini, gnocchi Parisienne. Yep, crystal meth. It's a family recipe.
I hate apples. I do. It's the one that I fucking hate apples.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What, cooked and raw?
Yeah. Well, cooked, no, not really.
So I've invited you here today to make apple tart tatin, and you hate apples.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Good. Now what we need to do is, if memory serves, it was 50 grams sugar, 50 grams butter that we did. So I'm just going to do it by eye. How's that sound?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Nice, even layer of sugar. Now look, butter. Apples. We want to arrange the apples in such a way that they are sort of leaning on each other with the turned beautiful side tumbling down. You want these to be nice and taut. You just have them in the fridge with the puff pastry on top. And then when you get one on order, you take it out of the fridge and you put it on the stove and you start caramelizing it. And that's the trick, is like caramelizing them properly, having enough color, because once you put it in the oven, it doesn't caramelize anymore. So you need to get all that color in the pan. When you're putting it in the oven, it's just to cook the puff pastry. So look.
Because the whole game is just making sure that, like, as much of the apple as possible is touching the surface of the pan.
Correct.
So you don't want to have them like too high up.
Correct. But they're going to also fall a little bit, right? Like a glove, Braun. Like a fucking glove, buddy. Come on. Come on.
All right.
All right?
All right.
You doubted me.
I did.
You doubted me. You put butter and sugar. What do you mean?
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I gotta run to the shop and get puff pastry. 1 sec. All right. What I want to do, a little bit of salt.
Crazy.
I've got this beautiful puff pastry from my lovely friends at Bearcat Bakery on Julia Street here in New Orleans, who gave me this beautiful puff pastry. Thank you, Kat. What we want to do now, Braun, is cut it to the size of this. Now, we're not done. Tuck it into bed. And now, not just tuck it into bed, but tuck it around the apples. See? Push it down so that you can feel the extremity of the apple.
I'm surprised the puff doesn't stick in the sides of the pan that it's touching.
Well, the puff pastry is like 80% butter. There's enough butter in here so that it won't stick. That's going to give a nice ridges. Now what we need to do is caramelize it. This is the most important part, getting the right color.
What is the right color?
Right color is like, you know, like that. Like just like that. When you're making caramel, it's important that you don't agitate it and move it and touch it. You kind of want to let the caramel do its thing on its own. You're melting sugar, don't touch the sugar. Let the sugar kind of go. The more you agitate it, the more you include external things in the sugar before it caramelizes, the higher the chances that it's going to crystallize. So like this, you're just kind of leaving it on. The fact that we have this nice flat top, it's even heat all the way through, is actually going to help us. So this flat top's on the highest it can go. It's on 450.
But if you're using a gas burner, what heat do you want?
I would say medium to high. And then the butter's going to start melting. It's going to start making a beautiful caramel. The pastry's going to start cooking a little bit. What you kind of want to do is look for the smell, what you're looking for, because you can't really see it. But also the pastry's going to kind of pop up on the sides a little bit, and we're going to be able to peek underneath it.
What temp do you have the oven preheated to?
350. You want this to be like bitter caramel, you know, like nice and dark flavor-wise. We would do this in a pot with higher sides, and you'd really push the pastry down. And so when it shrinks, like it ends up being like a cup. Like this will still hold it.
But you want the puff pastry to go in that crevice,
yeah, so that when
far down as you can.
So that when it's done, you see like a ridge of puff pastry.
The caramel.
Yeah, and everything sits inside of it.
Yeah.
This dish served in a 3-star dining room is fucking incredible.
How do you take care of copper?
Wash it really well. I mean, it's pretty damn resilient, isn't it?
You've got a recipe for copper polish?
Sure do.
What is it?
Equal parts table salt to white vinegar. Whisk that together till the salt is dissolved, and then you basically just whisk in all-purpose flour until it gets to the thickness that you want it to be.
Like a paste?
Yeah, like this.
You spread that paste onto the copper and it polishes it?
Yeah, makes it shiny. I guess in hindsight, we should have go 1 inch over the sides. We're getting there, folks. We're getting some color here.
I will give you credit. That was the perfect amount of apples.
Right? So see how it's starting to color? It's getting where we want it. We just want a little bit more on the ends, and we're there, Braun.
What can you do wrong during this stage?
You can not color it enough and have it be too pale.
So then what happens when you put it in the oven, you flip it? Like what happens if you don't?
It doesn't look right. It's too pale. Like, you know, the apples are too light. Like you want a really nice dark caramel all the way around it. Smells like deep caramel and apple. It smells really good. Now we're just gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract into the sides and then pop it in the oven. Now what we wanna do is a little bit of vanilla into the sides. Just wake it up a little bit, remind it who's boss.
Fuck, that smells fucking crazy.
It smells so good. The color is what we want. You can see the caramel pouring out of the sides, and it's the right color. So now what we're gonna do is take it out, pop it in the oven, and let the pastry finish cooking, and then we're gonna flip it out and eat it.
What is the right color?
Dark caramel, see?
And it's all even?
It's all even. 350 degree oven. We'll set a 15-minute timer. The moment of truth. Woo-wee! Make sure when you do this, guys, you need to flip this out when it's hot, otherwise it'll stick, okay? So get your apples nice and tucked in there. We're going to put this chopping board upside down on top. We're gonna flip it. You ready? Come on, all right. Come on, all right. We can make this a lot better, yes. But that looks delicious. All that's left to do is eat it. What's funny is like you look at it in the pan and you're like, oh God, that's too dark. But then when you flip it over, it's not at all, right? Mm-hmm. Apples are soft, caramelized.
Yo,
What do you think?
that's good.
You know what this dish is great for? If you're going over to someone's house and you're bringing dessert, do all the work at home, and then there's a bit of show to it, right? Let me see your stove. No, it's an induction. Shit. You got butane? Let me just go home. I'll be right back. What do you think of this, though? I want your honest opinion. I know you don't like apples, but...
That's unbelievable.
Guys, the caramel, a little bit bitter, very sweet. There's enough sugar. The apples are beautifully caramelized. Puff pastry gives a beautiful, flaky texture to the dish. Vanilla ice cream just throws it up in the air and knocks it out of the park. Home run, Fenway. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bronson. Always a pleasure. Would you make this again?
Yeah.
Guys, if you like this recipe, like, subscribe, follow Bronson. What's your Instagram again?
Bronson Wags.
Bronson Wags. Cut.